Come on. Yay. That works. Super. Thanks, Melissa. Appreciate it. Me too. Yeah, no kidding. All right. You too. Thanks. Bye. Good evening, folks. This is Ron Tyler with Emergency Management Associates coming to you live from the Crossroads of the West in Salt Lake City, Utah. The time right now is 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and that is in the Crossroads of the West in Salt Lake City, Utah. We are running a little bit, well, quite a bit behind schedule today. We have had some things that we were trying to get accomplished, and it actually ran past our normal time of coming on the air today with you. However, we are here and we have information for you. Just this camera here. There we go. Now I'm not cut off. Anyway, we appreciate you guys all being with us tonight. Um, I want to just update you on a few things that have come across since we last spoke last night. We have had, we mentioned last night in regards to the coronavirus. We mentioned last night that there was two planes that left Japan en route to the United States. One went to Travis Air Force Base with 177 passengers. It offloaded people at Travis Air Force Base, and the people that were offloaded at Travis will spend 14 days in quarantine in Travis Air Force Base, even though they may have spent time, that same amount of time in Japan on the cruise ship or in quarantine in Japan itself. They still have to spend another 14 days just to make sure that they don't have the coronavirus. Now um, there are people that were transferred over to Omaha, Nebraska, to a hospital in Omaha, Nebraska, and we're not going to give out that information. They have the information on YouTube. That's where I saw the news conference this morning. It was a news conference involving the administrators of the hospital, including the person in charge of infection control and a nurse there as well. And you can find that video over on YouTube. But the first plane stopped at Travis Air Force Base and offloaded people there, and then traveled over to Omaha, Nebraska to take people that needed to be seen by medical authorities. Um, and either be in quarantine or isolation in Omaha for having contracted the coronavirus. Um, there was also another stop at Lake Lackland Air Force Base where 151 people were offloaded from the plane at Lackland Air Force Base, and those people will also spend another 14 days in quarantine there before anyone is released. We showed you a couple of videos yesterday, and we wanted to make sure that you saw those. That's why we did it. That were regarding people that had spent time on the ship and were transferred over to the hospital in Japan for treatment of the coronavirus. Now, a total of 355 people from the ship had developed symptoms of the coronavirus. So we wanted to give you that information too. There are people that did not want to leave the ship that would have to stay on board the ship until they are cleared by medical authorities to leave, and then they'll be leaving on a chartered flight away from Tokyo and over to the United States from the Diamond Princess cruise ship. Now, I want to give you information about that cruise ship. Anyone that had reservations for that cruise ship should contact their cruise people that set up the cruise and get the latest information of itineraries for that cruise ship. But because it was delayed in Japan, and I believe they're going to have to try to disinfect the ship before they allow anybody else on the ship, there are going to be some delays in cruises for that ship. That's the latest from Japan. Over to China. We have, I believe, what we have is new numbers for the virus in Japan or in China. I believe the latest figures are 71,448 that are cases in China. Now, the cases in China are going to skyrocket very rapidly after today. As you know, I have felt for quite some time that we were not getting the total truth from China. And I believe that is one of the reasons why after today that the numbers that are given out will be skyrocketed numbers. So that's what's going on. So far, suspected cases from the numbers that I've gotten are still 8,228 suspected cases. Fatalities rest at 1,775. Serious cases, 10,699. Most of those are in China. 29 countries are now reporting cases of the coronavirus in their countries. As you know, we have cases in Washington, in California. We have cases in Montana, North Dakota. We have cases in California, like I said. We have cases in Texas. We have cases in Alabama and Florida and other states that don't want us to know the information. So that is the story as we have it. We will update you as we obtain more and more information. We have a lot of good people that are working on this information and filling us in on information as they find it as well. And as we develop more information, and see, it's not just getting the information. It's not just getting the information. It is vetting it as well. I will not put out information that I can't vet. information that I cannot prove. You will not hear fear porn from this channel. I just refuse. From Tennessee, Dr. Arnold and Jeannie Hopland. Jeannie had been tested positive for COVID-19, and they are flying back to the United States as of yesterday. She will be quarantined at Travis in California. It will be, he will be flown to Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, and he will be quarantined for 14 days while his wife is treated at Travis. 8 airlines are locked down in the UK from the coronavirus. 8 airlines are locked down in the British Empire because of the coronavirus. And 1 person is from California. While we're talking about Britain, Tropical Storm Dennis has slammed Britain with winds of 159 miles per hour. They had not just winds, but they were slammed with 100-foot waves in Britain as well. We understand it also hit Iceland and is one of the worst storms in the North Atlantic history at this point. So far, in regards to the coronavirus, health officials in Pennsylvania, California, Illinois, and New York have advised that they have people that have either tested positive or have suspected cases of the coronavirus. And actually not Pennsylvania, it was just California, Illinois, and New York. Pennsylvania, Texas, and Florida have withheld information in regards to the coronavirus so they don't panic anybody. Okay? Plus, they're saying they don't want to compromise patient privacy. But that's the latest on the coronavirus. And like I said, we will update you with information as we get it. And like I said, when we get it, we vet it to make sure it's 1, truthful, and 2, is complete. That's the other issue. Okay, that's the other issue. Now, I want to go over here. I'm going to pull up some more information for us here. And I'm sorry I failed to start the Spreaker app. So you folks over on the radio side of the house, I'm sorry. This is Ron Tyler with Emergency Management Associates. I started the radio show and television video presentation, and I forgot to start the Spreaker app. And so you guys wouldn't have to forgive me tonight. Plus, we started late, approximately 1/2 hour ago. We just talked about the coronavirus over on our video presentation. And for those of you that want to get updated on that, go over to our video program and you can get all the information about the coronavirus update. That's for that. I want to, like I said, just pull up some more information here. If you'll just bear with me for a second. Okay, we're going to go over some earthquakes real fast, and then we will, as promised, talk about Cascadia tonight. We will get to talk about Cascadia tonight. I promise you that. All right. Got that. On this program, we use the United States Geological Survey map, and we also use the EMSC, the European Geologic Agency, only because um, they provide more details than the U.S. agency ever thought of doing. And we want to make sure that you have best information possible that you can get. Okay, first off, I want to talk about a large earthquake that hit late last night, early this morning. A large 5.2 magnitude earthquake hit over in the Bristol Islands, South Sandwich Islands area um, earlier today. 128 kilometers, approximately 85 miles south southwest of Bristol Island, South Sandwich Islands. You'll notice by this map, this is down on the in the South Atlantic, and it's over on the North Antarctic Ridge. The North Antarctic Ridge is where the South Sandwich Islands are located. So there's that information there. USGS is not showing us much of anything today at all, unfortunately. They're not showing the earthquakes we've had over here in New Zealand, and we've had a large earthquake over here south of the Kermadec Islands. And we'll bring that to you in just a few minutes. As you can see, we have a group of moderate earthquakes that went through the Indonesia area. Let's go over to Papua New Guinea. 4.7 moderate earthquake hit this morning at Taran, Papua New Guinea. This is an area that has had 6.5, 7.0 earthquakes, and we're still expecting a possible 6.1 to 6.2 or 6.0 to 6.2 earthquake to hit over here in the next couple of days. If it doesn't hit by Wednesday, we will call off our watch. Further over here in central Indonesia, another 4.9, 5.0 magnitude earthquake hit today. I did vet this earthquake. It was indeed a 4.9, although I'm still going to call it as a 4.9, 5.0, considering the 0.9 society. It was indeed at least a 4.9 earthquake. There were a lot of fives there. Over half the sensors that picked up this earthquake said it was a 5.0 or larger earthquake. Going further west, Sumlaki, Indonesia had a moderate 4.5 magnitude earthquake that hit today. Another 4.4 also hit in that same area, just west over there, 300 kilometers west northwest of Sumlaki, Indonesia. Going further west, a 4.4 moderate earthquake hit near Watubuku, Indonesia. Again, this is central Indonesia, folks. Again, and I've explained this dozens of times, I'll explain it again. This whole area is just like the subduction zone that we have up in Washington and Oregon and even California. This area continues to have moderate and large earthquakes, substantial large earthquakes here, because it is a subduction zone. There are 7 or 8 different faults involving the subduction areas, and that's why we have this large number of earthquakes. And I'll show you some more in just a few minutes. Over here in Gunung Batu, Indonesia, we had a moderate 4.7 magnitude earthquake. Now this is over in central Java. This earthquake is over in central Java. Going up to Chichijima, Japan. Chichijima, Japan had a large 5.4 magnitude earthquake there. Large 5.4 magnitude earthquake there early this morning. Now this is far enough away from mainland Japan that, and it's far enough away from the central islands here in Chichishima that it did no damage. We've done the research on this and those other earthquakes that we had a few days ago, and they've done no damage. We have no record of damage or injuries that were caused by those earthquakes just a few days ago, including this one at Chichishima, Japan. Going further north, Ryugagasaki, Japan had a 4.6 moderate earthquake today. Okay, this was over near Tokyo, right? We had no earthquakes reported by USGS over here in the Kuril Islands or over here in the Kamchatka area. However, I wanted to show you these earthquakes here. This is Amatinak Island in Alaska. This earthquake hit it was a moderate 4.7 earthquake. It was far enough away from Amatinak Island to cause absolutely no damage, and people on that island probably didn't even feel this because the water, it was out in the water, the epicenter was in the water, and the water dampens the seismic energy. Okay, the other earthquake here. This was over on the far western end of the Alaska Peninsula, Unalaska Island, Alaska. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yunaska, Yunaska, Alaska, 58 kilometers southeast of there, had a moderate 4.1 magnitude earthquake. Now, this is not a sufficient sample of the earthquakes here in Alaska. USGS, like I said, is doing a lousy job of earthquake reporting, and they always have. So we're not even going to spend any time here except to show you just two other earthquakes that hit south of the Cascadia subduction zone and south of this fault line here. Okay, they were over on the east side of the San Andreas Fault. Okay, this one was a 2.9, 3.0, approximately 5 miles northeast of Talmadge, California. This other earthquake that was just north of there was west-northwest of Lake Pillsbury, California. It was a 2.5. Now, this other earthquake that was just barely northeast of there was in Willows, California. A 2.8 magnitude earthquake hit approximately 7 miles east-northeast of Willows, California. Now, I'm going to show you that only because it's probably a good representation of these earthquakes. But given that there were other earthquakes of equal and even lesser size that are being reported by the Europeans, the USGS did not even show. So we're going to do that as well. This other earthquake down south of the state of California near Ensenada, approximately 15 miles, 16 miles northeast of Ensenada, was a 3.3, a small 3.3 down here in Baja California, Mexico. Okay, so I'm going to turn off this map. I'm going to go to my handheld phone and pull up the EMSC map so you can see what happened, what actually happened. Again, we're going to start down here in the New Zealand area. They've taken off the earthquake that was up here near Raoul Island. Actually, Les Esperance was a 5.2 this morning. It's gone. These other earthquakes are normal for what we've got going here. Just off up the coast, or not up the coast, up the fault line from northern New Zealand, we have a 3.97. Let me turn down the light on my phone. Just a minute. We had a 3.97 out there, and just south of there, we had another 3.84. The rest of these earthquakes are lesser earthquakes here. 2.34. Now I'm not going to hit them all. 3.19. Okay. The one that I'm going to show you now is a 2.95, and it's north of White Island, the volcano at White Island, just north of there. Okay. It was a 2.95 there. They've had 2.76 over on the east end of the island, going down the center of New Zealand near the south end of North Island. We have another 2.97. And notice it's on the fault line that goes right down the center of the North Island there. Okay, right on the fault line. And then the South Island doesn't have any earthquakes. No earthquakes there. Yeah, I'm going to take off these headphones. The only reason I turned on the headphones tonight was I wanted to listen to the music to make sure everything was going through the system as we planned it. Going over here to Australia. Again, the U.S. agency did not even report this. We had another 2.9 magnitude earthquake over off the south coast, southeast coast of Australia. This was a 2.9 magnitude earthquake near Cape Jarvis, southeastern Australia, near Cape Jarvis, 2.9 there. Okay. The American agency did not even show that. Over here in Papua New Guinea, we had a 4.7. Central Indonesia, as we reported, had another swarm of earthquakes, as they normally have. 4.4. Excuse me, I got something. My eyes are bothering me again. I have to do something about that a little later. 4.4 in Sumatra, Indonesia. Going further west in the Banda Sea, Timor region, we have a 2.5. Going over here to Java, Central Java, we have a 2.8 and a 4.7 like we reported over with USGS. Right there. And this is in the Jakarta area. Okay. Going up into northern Java, we have a 2.5 near Guru Agung, I should say, 2.5 there. And up in the northern reaches of Sumatra, North Sumatra, we had a 2.6. Okay, that's what happened there. As we reported, going up from Indonesia up into the Philippines, Cabaron, Philippines, over near just south of Mindanao, Philippines, we have a 4.5 magnitude earthquake there. The other agency did not show that. Going south of the North Island of the Philippines, Luzon, we have a 3.5. 3.5 there. As we talked to you about, Chichishima had that 5.4 today. And again, it's right on that fault line there. Right on that fault line in the Pacific. Over in South Japan, we had the 3.2, 3.2 there. Going north near Kazuminara Ibaraki, Ibaraki, Japan, we had a 4.6. That was that one near Tokyo, not that far from Tokyo. And going north from there in northern Japan off of Honshu, on the east side of Honshu, we had another 3.4.